Okay, so I'm going through the going through some of this stuff, and I came across a very important device from back in the day. You see it kind of, oh, maybe that sun is bothering you. You see it kind of looks like a wheelbarrow there. It's got a wheel up in the front, a spoked wheel. You can see that. And you also see these boards here. Well, this was a seeder. Yes, a seeder. You would walk across the field with this with your grass seed, clover seed, any kind of hay seed, usually a hay crop. And what would happen is there was a string in there. And you can see this on the spokes. I'm going to get close to it. I have half of this at the farm, but I don't have the wooden part. But up there, there's like this wobbly looking wheel that's attached to that spoke, and then it's attached to a device that would move the string back and forth inside that box. Well, in that box, there's little holes. Well, here it is. This one had a wire in it. See it? Like a wire. There it is. And that would go back and forth, and there's little holes in the bottom of this wood, and you can still feel them. Let me see. I guess it's broken up bad enough that I can break it off. You know, here we go. Okay, so in the bottom there's holes, and that wire would go back and forth inside there, and it would just meter out a small amount of grass seed. And you could adjust it by the slide that's on that tongue as to how far it goes back and forth, kind of like a knife section on a mower. And that would give you your seeding rate. So there was usually a chain that you drug on the end so that it would mark where you were at as you walked across field, so you didn't get overlap. Or skippers, as we call them here in the East. So yeah, so that's actually the half that I need on that is really bad. Actually, that whole thing is junk. It's kind of a cool old antique, but I actually need the cedar part. And I actually saw a fellow use that out in Lancaster, a brand new one. So they're probably still making that old technology. I just haven't come across it where I could buy one, because I would buy the box. I have the top, or the cart part. I just don't have the box part. And I thought my grandfather had one of those boxes up in that other building. So I might go and check that out. Anyway, here we go. Here's some old writing on the wall from before my grandparents, before they bought the place in 1959. If I could just figure out how to zoom in here. And you can see the type of machine that they were working on. December 7th, 1948. They changed the oil. The radiator tested to 0, and the oil changed to 20W, 20 weight. And again, here's another one, and that is 1940. That was 48, December 8th, 1940. Oh, and the Studebaker. And the Studebaker was checked on the 8th to 20 weight. Same date. Yeah, oil change to 20 weight, same date. Studebaker, December 8th, 1948. Zero. I don't know what they call that stuff, but for the radiator, the antifreeze tested to 0. So that's kind of cool. But there was a lot of other writings and stuff on there. That something was $203, which was big money back then. And yeah, I think it's cool. But this stuff was never touched by my grandfather. Since 1959, my grandfather never did anything with this stuff. And I know that because he wasn't here in 1948. And here's some of the other things that I noticed about the place. These old bottles and things like that. He may have used this a little bit, but there's a head gasket for a 6-cylinder something or other. I don't even know what that's for, but it's there on the wall. Maybe 63 Impala 2-door would know. Here's a cool little wrench. I just noticed that, and that's been here for a coon's age. But check this guy out. You ever seen anything like that? Let me zoom out a bit. I mean, come on. That is cool. I mean, that is cool. Like a little hammerhead. And it's got, and it still works. Can you believe that thing? It actually slides. But it's just a little plumber's wrench. Neat. Put that back there. It doesn't belong to me, you know. That's a bearing, and I know what that's out of. That's out of a Model T Ford. I know for a fact that's out of a Model T Ford. And here's an interesting tool. And believe me, I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what this is. Actually, I do have an idea what that is. I think it's a band changer for a Model T Ford. Matter of fact, I'm almost 100% sure that is to help change holds the bands in a Model T Ford. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure. I've seen one of those before. Let's see what else is collected up in here. It's really kind of cool because this building is pretty much unmolested in the last 50, 60 years. Even though my grandparents owned it and farmed since 1959 here. 55, not 59, 55. I don't know why I'm saying 59. It's 55. My other grandparents bought in 1959 where I'm stationed out of. Here's an old 2-row corn planter. That's cool. There's an old lawnmower. Here's a wicked-ass lawnmower. Check that thing out. Man, that's a manhandler right there. I don't even know how that thing survived. But there's an old bicycle there. And here's a grinding stone. Check that out. Got a lot of life on her yet. Matter of fact, it's an old whetstone. That's neat. What else is in here? There's an old rototiller of some sort. What else? Maybe I could find something. You know what? There's an old set of stairs up here. I might even be able to go on up. It's been years. I think somebody had straw up in here not that long ago. I just want to see what it looks like. Nope, nobody's had straw in here in a while. There's a slate missing there, so it's either going to have to get straightened out or this building will fall victim to the woes of the world. And I'd hate to see that happen here, and especially on this old building, because it is old. It's nothing new. An old elevator up there. It's not really that old. My grandfather put that up in here. But obviously it was a very difficult task to remove the straw, or the straw from here, because there's probably 3 feet of it. That's neat. But oh well, that'll aid in the decay of the building. You'll let it. I think I'm going to make a series out of this video. Now I know that the part of this building where the animals are, or were, has always been difficult for me to get to. When I was a kid, I never even did get to it. Here's an old wheel. Look at that. Steel clad. There's the old rototiller or whatever that is. Probably an old, looks like a plow actually. Yep, it's a cultivator. Old gas-powered cultivator with no motor on it. I know there was a... Yeah, I'm hoping that that doesn't rot through. Shame if it does. This is old ammoniated fertilizer. I remember that from years ago. I was hoping Timothy would be back, but here's how you get into the other side. And I can't even see in there, but maybe you can. I just stick the camera in. I don't know, maybe I can get in from the front side of the building. It's probably full of junk. Who knows? Who the hell knows? Oh, old welding rods. There's a neat little cubby hole. I always call them coobies, and people make fun of me for calling them cubby holes, but that's what I always said. Huh. Check this old block plane out, huh? That's neat. Old block plane. And if you've never seen one of those before, I believe that is an old reflector. They're marbles. Cool. They almost look like antifreeze of some sort. They might be electric in there too, I don't know. Never saw that before. An old filter. But anyway, I'll shut you off, see what we can find elsewhere in here. Okay, it's nothing too spectacular. I just went in the front door. But this is where the old mangers were for the cows, heifers or whatever. I found an old generator. That is DC. I'm sure there's some wicked power there. If that's yeah, DC generator, not an alternating current one. There's an old drum that says Toro Gear engine oil. Weird. Old farm tractor tires, front ones. Somewhat of life left into them. I believe there's a front tractor weight that's snapped off. Tires for a truck, and yeah, that's cool. Nothing really spectacular in here, I guess. Old bridle, maybe for my aunt's horse. There's an old sled. That's an old boy there. It's an old one. Spray tank. which there's some other form of a push type or pull type cultivator thing. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to get a tetanus shot after I get out of here.